Hello and welcome to All I Do Is Celebrate This Weird Pasty Ginger that I've been trapped in a room with for almost 3 years.
If
birthday.
only it was a room. If only we were in a room.
Happy birthday, Mr. Ali Woods.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you to the listeners for continually listening. It's there's a lot that is.
Some of you would have. Sorry, I was just to say, some of the listeners would have been with us
Cut me off
for
on my birthday.
birthdays.
Cut me off on my birthday.
3 birthdays.
that is amazing, and that has actually made me quite sad. But thank you.
Yeah.
thank you though.
To think, yeah.
For being here.
I like to feel that they would have listened to our sort of trajectory and story and more downhearted the more. We probably started this podcast full of life and vigor.
We were we were going, look, happy birthday. Who knows? This time next year, we could be just doing a live show at the London Palladium. Apollo. Yeah, who knows? And then 3 years later, we're here going, yeah, it's annoying. Can't get a gig there. And maybe we should change up the podcast. But thank you very much. There's a lot that is the reason why me and Tom are best friends. And one of them is that miraculously our birthdays are just 8 days apart, almost twins. I'm a bit younger, but almost twins. But we're both Scorpios, but I don't need to tell you that because you know that already. So, classic.
Classic.
As if anyone listens to this for 2 minutes could tell that we're both Scorpios. Honestly, it's amazing.
Just so defensive, both of you.
So closed off, classic Scorpio or Taurus or Sagittarius, depending on which one you are. So that is true. And it is my birthday today. I'm 27 years old. So it's a pretty good age. 27 club. 27 supposedly peak physical fitness, apparently. Guilty.
Yeah. I think that passed you by, mate, quite
Guilty.
a while ago. But I wouldn't. I think that you've now got 1 year to get famous and die for anyone to remember you. So there you go.
You sound like my mum. You've got 1 year to get famous and die. I'm not having all this carry on.
Get it done.
Get it done. I'm not having yous not being famous and living.
Yeah, absolutely. Disappointment. Yeah, fucking disappointment.
So I've got 1 year to get famous and die. Well, it could happen. I'm slowly going up on Instagram, trying to help out you, Tom, as much as possible with that. Sort of tagging you and stuff. I guess people are going to your page, watching the stuff, thinking not for me, and then not following. But I will try.
That's it. They've watched those 15 lowest common denominator sketches that you've done, and they've gone onto my page and been like, "No, there's a level here that's been set, and I need it over at old Ali Woods. I just can't get it. I'm not getting it anywhere else."
They've looked at your videos and gone, "I don't know any posh people, and it's just not for me." Yeah. So what can you do? But yeah, so maybe we'll be maybe this time next year to ring in your 30th. It'll only be my 28th, but to ring in your 30th, we will be at
Let's leave ages out of it, Ali. We got to leave ages out of it. We don't want the corporate machine that is the entertainment industry to know how old we really are. That's not good for us.
You're gonna be doing
Ali, you're gonna be going to audition scenes for 19-year-old kids. You're gonna be like, "What's that, man?
Yo, what's hanging?
Yo.
Wicked."
Jank. That's jank-ass meme you got there, man.
Yeah. You're gonna be like David Brent this year. We're like, how old are you? 20s, mate. 20s. Yeah, just me and you in your 20s.
General 20s. I did get offered something this week. I got contacted by a bespoke dating agency.
Okay.
For 30-somethings. So already I'm insulted. I'm like, well, I'm not 30. But yeah, they wanted me to sign up to the bespoke dating agency. I would actually probably give it a shout out, but I'm not going to do that. It was curated.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, just be a customer.
I think it was like a curated dating agency where they were trying to find a specific clientele was what they were after. So
They look,
you know,
what, 29-year-olds apparently. That's what people in their 30s want. Have you got anyone not in their 30s?
29-year-olds with mediocre podcasts. That's what they were after.
Got any podcasters in their 20s? Well, we can find one. Let's just give TikTok a quick search. And
boom.
That's pretty. And so you said no because you have a girlfriend. Would you have done it?
No, because I'm not 30. So why would I?
What? Yeah, but it's getting closer every day.
Yeah, but we're not. I'm on that slide and I'm fucking gripping for dear life. Yeah.
I mean, you're closer now than you were when they asked you, so you might as well.
By the time you've done all the paperwork, you're already
you've got big evidence to go through, and then Bob's your uncle. Did Gignify get in touch with you in the end? I'll message them to do that. I go in touch with this company who basically are doing. It's peak. They set up this company to basically what they want to be is the Airbnb of gigging. So corporates come to them, say, look, we're looking for people to put on a show, sort of thinking a bit of variety, maybe comedy, maybe magic, maybe singing, something like that. And then they go, right, what
do they book you for? Magic, maybe.
and then they're like, we also need some people to serve drinks. And they're like, we've got this guy, and he was very available. Can I get on and do 5? Just get those orders done, and then we'll see. Probably not enough time to get you on now, mate. But if you keep going, maybe.
Like that magic trick that we've been teaching you at the back.
The magic. It's like, the magical alley into the woods. Comes out with his glamorous assistant, the L Wizard.
Yeah, the L Wizard and the Great Ali are going to get up on stage.
The Great Ali. I also got, this is the thing with, so I get asked by, and it's often non-British people, what my name, like what they're like, why are you called Ali? In a really like, why are you not Middle Eastern way? And I had a couple of those messages like this last couple of weeks being like, what's Ali short for? Are you Arab? And I was like, nah, I don't know how you could tell.
Don't close yourself off from the audience. It could have.
But then yesterday I got.
You need to do one of those 23andMe's, and you might find a 1% of something in there.
Well, but yeah, exactly. That's my quota.
Pure whiteness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, blood is pure. They come back and they're like, do not tell anyone your results. Thank you. So, but yesterday I got tagged on Instagram in like a Muslim prayer. I assume accidentally because the tags go down and it's like Ali Abdul, Ali Muhammad, Ali Woods gigs. It's just like these very solemn. So I assume Muslim men in their profiles, and it's all about sort of like peace within you and stuff. And then there's just like me smiling, like Ali Woods, comedian. It's a Muslim prayer. But I was like, fair play, I'll take a prayer.
Yeah, don't knock it. Get involved. Yeah. We are quickly, ladies and gentlemen, going to move on to a bit of news. We got some news for you, ladies and gentlemen. First thing is there's going to be a pay freeze on public sector workers' jobs. So just if you thought not doctors and NHS stuff, a pay freeze on public sector workers' jobs. Okay. So not doctors and nurses and NHS workers. Luckily, you guys got it off. Apparently, you've been doing some good work over the last year. Well,
that's not going to incentivize them, is it?
Yeah. But everyone else, if you thought your job was tough, don't worry. They're just freezing your pay. That's all.
Great. Well, that's good. I mean, I don't really get how the public sector works a lot of the time. What I hear is that it's impossible to get fired. That's what a lot of my friends say who work in there, which is good. But then what's the point of not getting fired from a job where you're only like 24K to deal with Marjorie's complaints that the bin men are too loud on a Wednesday?
Yeah. Or like the police who came around my house to have a go at me the other day.
I sent them.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Send you some bobbies. I was like, there's a wrong un, I know where. They're like, sir, this is really a line for emergencies only. It is an emergency. He's not messaging me back.
Get round there and check he's okay.
We normally wait 48 hours, so well, it's been 48 minutes. That's enough.
The police came around mine to have a go at me, and they accused me of having a party. Hadn't had a party, but they just accused me of it, and I said, no party went on here, and then they said, okay, if we have to come back here, we're going to find the shit out of you. Their exact words.
and they looked at you and were like, "Doesn't look like he has parties."
Yeah, they were like, yeah, all right, I believe you. Yeah,
Doesn't look
fine.
like a cool guy. So
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
I can only hope they don't come around mine, because they'll take one look at this animal and be like, "We know you were living La Vida Loca in there, son." So
Rages, all night rages. This one.
back up.
Yeah,
The bully vans come down the road.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
so police won't get paid anymore. Well, I mean, as you say before, this is the onset of the great taking back. It was all
Mhm.
furloughs and eat out to help out, and now it's like, yeah, so
Guys, come on,
don't,
cough up, cough up.
no, we don't have any money, so we need you to pay it.
Yeah,
But
it's time. It's time you start coughing up. It's going to get interesting. The other thing is going on with government is that Hancock has said that Christmas it's not necessarily going to be cancelled, but he doesn't know if it's 100% going to be the Christmas that you wished for.
Christmas Day wish for, crying alone in the bathtub. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
So,
Every year. Yeah.
But doesn't he know that Corona takes Christmas off? If everyone agrees that, then it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a conflicting one, isn't it? Because people are just going to be like, well, I'm obviously seeing my nan. I'm not going to not see my nan. And then it's like, oh, but you're actually killing your nan by maybe
that's why I want
you
to
don't like your grandparents or family.
Yeah.
This is prime time, guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about wanting to get away with murder? Here we go.
I've had 23 years of shit presents from you, Grandma. I'm not having a tumbler, a tumbler full of bitter sweets anymore.
Yeah.
You're dying.
I've been off licking the floors of Weatherspoons just before coming here.
Yeah.
Just to,
I'm ready. I'm primed. I'm P-rhymed. I've come in with a cough. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I've been going into schools and just licking
I've
shit.
been a teacher's aide for the last 4 weeks to practice to get the virus.
Just to get the Rona.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very surprised if the Tories cancel Christmas, because their voting public bloody love Christmas. Bloody love.
True.
They were like, what should we do about Eid? How about nothing, mate? Fucking who cares? And then it's like,
how about shut down Manchester completely?
Manchester, they can do one. Liverpool, fuck off. And then Diwali, let our fireworks indoors, please, this year. Then when it's Christmas, it's like they can't say, yes, the British people have to come together and not celebrate Christmas, because it will all just be their voters being like, look, I understand this is a tough time, but you cancelling Christmas is you cancelling Britain. And for that, I'm not going. I've lost my Tory membership there. That is, they do not care about real people and our problems. Who am I going to feed with this turkey now?
Unbelievable. So yeah, that's that. And the final bit of news, ladies and gentlemen, just to clarify, is Trump still said he's not leaving, so that's good.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
It's one of them.
I'm not going.
All his staff are just leaving, sort of one by one, like.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Like, yeah, really enjoy my time here. Just slowly closing the door. He's just like raging around the White House, and then falling asleep, and then waking up and raging again. Well, I mean, he'll have to go eventually. But the big news, I can't believe we're not talking about. Priti Patel is a big bully. What a surprise! Have you not seen this?
Well, yeah, I've seen this, but I didn't even want to bring it up because I'm just not shocked by this at all. None of that shocks me.
No, but then so just what happened before we came on air was the ministerial, the person who is in charge of officiating what is ministerial behaviour has left now, because Boris Johnson has stood by Priti Patel. So basically, prepare for Prime Minister Priti is what's coming. Cummings is gone. Priti's back. So, she's an absolute
here we go.
ice queen.
Tirade. Yeah. The tirade will begin.
It's just a bunch of absolute terrible people in charge, really, of things. So, I mean, I think basically what we're saying is she's like, yeah, bullying is okay if you're getting rid of immigrants. that's the thinking. That's the thinking. But honestly, I've said it before in this podcast, I try not to judge too much people I haven't actually met. You know, they come through my filter bubble. But she, from all accounts, sounds like an absolute disgrace of a person. So fuck off.
That's the official stance of Ali Wood.
We're still anti-vaxxers, and we're still...
No, yeah. We're still
Flat
anti-vaxxers and
earthers,
flat earthers.
incels.
Well,
I draw
one
the
half
line.
of this podcast sympathizes with incels.
Incels.
Whatever.
The
Guess
incel
which half?
sympathizer.
Yeah.
That's how they start me on BBC News. Incel sympathizer Ali Wood joins
Ali
us
Woods.
today to talk about his podcast. I want to talk more about the podcast than the incel sympathizing about it. Right? So why do you condone the violent acts of these lonely men? I'm not. I'm just here to talk about FailMail. It's a new feature.
Yeah.
but yes, I do.
Yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a rocky week, but I feel like, will they give us Christmas? Yes, almost certainly. To sum up, they will. They'll give us some Christmas. They'll give us a few days off to spread COVID as far and wide as we can, and then we'll pay for it in January. So there we go. I think a few weeks ago, Ali called this. He said, that's it. 100%. They're going to give us a few days off of Christmas back in January, and that's the way it's shaping up. So come to us for your official inside government know-how.
Yeah, we'll be the ones podcasting on Christmas Day. They're like, what sad people? But I can't believe who does something on Christmas. It's still working.
Yeah,
and we're like, ladies and gentlemen, we got a funny story for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mum and Dad, I've got to go. I'm out. I'm out. I've got a podcast.
2 p.m. I know it's Christmas dinner, but yeah, I think this. Well, what another bit of news today, just quickly, is that they've said lockdown. Yeah, it still might end on the 3rd of December, but we might go back to a tiering system, and that tiering system will be more strict. so it's like we're not in lockdown, but you can't see anyone or go anywhere. So but it's lockdown's over.
We're not saying it's called lockdown. You're calling it lockdown.
But we didn't say that, mate. That's honestly not us. That's you. That's you said that. No. So I think we might be going into tier 4. And as I said, tier 4 is when they just shoot you in the face.
Tier 4.
Priti herself comes down with a big blunderbuss, one of those old school guns with the big outward bit, and just.
And they just. Oof. I did like the idea of when the rumors were spreading of literal military going up and down the streets, patrolling, being snatching people off the street if they were to break the rules.
My neighbor bloody loved that. She was loving it. She was like, she was like banging on the door. I was like, what do you want? This is back in March. She was like, just so you know, just lockdown. It's happening at 12 tomorrow, right? No one's allowed in or out of London. There'll be tanks. So if you need to leave, go and spread it. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yes, no, it's absolutely happening. My mum, she knows the MP for Minister for Transport, and it's happening. Complete lockdown of London. No one's allowed in or out. And
they're actually the M25. They're just going to make a ring of tanks.
But that's what she said. M25. She was like, there's going to be a blockade, so you won't be allowed out. So if you need to leave London, just do it in the next 12 hours. You need to go now. I was like, I'll be okay. Shut the door.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the news.
It may be a return of the news segment now.
Yeah. I think it was maybe. Yeah. For the hardcore listeners, they'll know that we used to have different segments to this podcast with jingles and all, but quickly abandoned them when we realized no one really gave a shit. So
we had one jingle which was the news, and although we had the dun 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 dun, really it was you going the news.
Yeah, it's a classic jingle. Who doesn't like that?
People message me like, why does he say the news like that? That's how he says it.
So they know what's up.
So they know what's good. Up. You don't forget that.
No, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to the new segment of this podcast, and that is FailMail, ladies and gentlemen. We for a long time have wanted to do a sort of write-in agony aunt kind of dilemmas section to this podcast, but I'll be honest, we didn't have the followings to. we didn't get the mail. We didn't get the mail. We wanted. We wanted them.
Messages back. So, let alone the general public.
And it just got depressing trying to write a small fictional novel every week of a letter to write in for each other. So, but now we are at a different stage. We've progressed beyond where we were, and we do have the following. And we put out into the world this week. We said, guys, just a classic. what's your worst date story? Give us your worst date you've ever been on. And the responses came thick and fast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to everyone who did respond. It's absolutely amazing. We're going to read our sort of pick of the litter of the stories. Ali, do you want to start?
Yeah, I've got some really good short ones, but I'll save those for the end. Let's do a longer one here. Right. So thank you to everyone who messaged in. It was amazing. And also we can all come together in that we've all, like, loads of people have had a terrible day out there. So this is one I've got. Here's one.
Yeah. Shout out all the people who said me when I said what you were saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there were lots of Ali's, you as well.
Yeah. No, none. Everyone was like, I wish I'd gone on another day with you. No, I had one who said that. One who said, yet to happen with you. Ha 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 ha. And I was like,
okay, that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right. But I was like, but that makes me less interested to go on a date because you're already saying it's going to be shit. Anyway, so my own insecurity. Right. I met this really hot guy on the apps in March. Also, I may say as well, most of these stories are where it's like the man who has been terrible. So
I would say I've got one where it's not.
Yeah,
I'm already.
Same. I think. I met this really hot guy on the apps in March. He really is my type. Won't go into much detail. Of course, lockdown happened and he moved back to Canada. In August, he came back to London, and after 2 more weeks of quarantine, we finally meet for the first time. He suggested to meet in Waterloo, drink something there, and have a walk in the South Bank to Borough Market. Sounds nice so far, doesn't it?
Solid date, that.
Yeah. I was really having...
One from the old Tom Elwes handbag.
Yeah, I bet that is. Exactly. Yeah. His name was Tom. He said he was a comedian, but I watched his videos and they weren't very funny.
I don't understand what all the fuss is about. I think you should go back.
I think he was better at the video editing.
I think you should go back in production and media.
Production seems to be a strong point. This is a bloke. This is 2 blokes on this one.
Oh,
so it wouldn't have been you, as far as I'm aware, unless you're not telling me something. I was really having an amazing time. We talked about so many things, and again, he is hot. That was capitalized. And I didn't really care about the conversation much. I was already thinking of us at mine, Netflix and chill, Uber Eats, and then fire emoji and water emoji, which would therefore mean
fire and water,
which would therefore mean nothing. No interest, nothing.
A very placid time. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, dry.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the story. We started walking in the market, looking at the food stalls and deciding what to have for lunch, when he screamed very loud and lied on the floor in a fetal position.
Interesting.
I turned around and thousands of things came to my mind, like, oh my God.
Terrorism?
Yeah, he got stabbed and fuck, he's having a heart attack. People near us literally run away. And in a second, I was standing there with this guy on the floor. I sat down next to him and asked him what happened. He couldn't speak for a few seconds, but he indicated with his hand a food stall nearby. And then told me they sell cheese and I've got turophobia. Of course, I had no clue of what that means. So I asked a girl who was witnessing all this drama to Google for me. And it turns out he's scared of cheeses. I literally had no words. Wow. Didn't know what to say. In the meantime, security came and they were about to call an ambulance. I understood that this guy couldn't be the right one for the rest of my life, I think it's supposed to say. However, he definitely was the right one for that night and 3 more. So I thought that was quite a nice one because it had a nice resolution at the end and quite a mad middle bit.
First of all, if you had, was it turophobia?
Turophobia, fear of cheeses.
If you had turophobia and someone suggested to go to Borough Market and that was like literally something that was going to make you crawl into a fetal position, had you seen cheese, I would most likely Googled Borough Market and you would have found it's a pretty cheesy place.
But he doesn't know he's got turophobia.
The man doesn't know he's got turophobia.
No, the guy the guy on the date.
I know, but surely he was messaging the guy being like, yo, we should go to the South Bank and go on a walk.
Oh yeah, but I mean he's not British because he's from Canada. It seems.
Okay, other things. That man must have a nightmare every time he goes to a restaurant. I mean, good lord.
That's a tough life, isn't it? Imagine walking past the Baby Bells and just losing the plot.
Yeah. Is it everything? Is it pizza as well? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. I'm interested. I feel sorry for him because cheese is everywhere. It really is, But what are you gonna do? But I thought that had quite a nice resolution because this guy realized, look, this isn't gonna. I don't want to be forever with a guy afraid of a bit of fromage, but I will shag him for a few nights, which is I think it's great.
How you honestly going through your life? If there are any tourophobes out there, please write in.
I'd love to hear how it affects you.
How do you go about your day? As a child, it must have been a nightmare. The Baby Bell situation would have been a big one.
Imagine that, having a burger and then cheese on there. You lose plot.
Pizzas, McDonald's, everywhere. There's cheese everywhere. It's impossible. That's supermarkets, everything. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This is not. You must have to have some serious counselling to get over this because that is an absolutely wild thing.
You've got it. I'd say prioritize getting over your fear of cheeses if that's possible. I assume it is because phobias often you can't deal with them.
And what do you there's so many things as well. Like, oh God, you just go about your day. It'd be impossible. You'd be absolutely just dumbstruck constantly. Like, it's stressing me out thinking about being scared of cheese. Like,
it's tough. It's tough for the guy. Do you want another shorter one?
Yeah, go on.
Went to a guy's house for dinner recently. First date because pubs and stuff were shut, and he cooked me a spag bowl. And halfway through the meal, he told me he wanted to show me his bag.
Interesting.
Curious, we went into the bedroom where his bag was, and then he started taking out a wooden paddle.
Okay.
Spanked his hand and said, "This was for the bum." And then some kind of feathers and a brand new sex toy. To say awkward is an understatement.
I'm going to need to know some things. What number of date was this?
First date. Like a first date.
Oh, you'd run. If you pull out the feathers and the spanking paddle, do you want to see my bag? That early on?
I'm out of that. Do you want to see my bag? That's such a good. I'm going to use that line. Shall we take this to my bag?
My bag. Your bag could be so many different things as well. Like,
also, I like this. This is for the bum.
This is for the bum. This is for the bum. Just to clarify.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what you mean to scare you. This is for the bum.
Yeah, for the bum. The buttocks. Not. This is not for the anywhere weird. Don't worry. Just the bum.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Hit me with one.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That is. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a few. Okay. So this is a good one. Okay, this is from. I'll change her name. We'll call her Lucy. Okay. I went on a date. I went on a date and went home drunk with the guy. We were high and drunk, and I ended up waking up in his parents' house in his spare bedroom. It turns out he wasn't 21. He was 19. I was 25 at the time. Okay. Already good start. Okay. And even worse, I walked downstairs and walked in the next day in full slut gear. Okay, that was her words, not mine.
My words, all right. Okay.
And his mother was standing there in the hallway with his two younger siblings, and she was holding a 50th birthday cake and balloons for her dad, for the guy's dad.
That's amazing. What did she say? Does it say anything more?
She just said, amazing. Obviously, it didn't work out, and she left sharpish.
That's very good. Happy 50th. The dad must have been excited. What you got? Me?
Oh, you got me.
A woman as well. Yeah. Son, you shouldn't have.
Legend. Yeah.
That's brutal. Oh, poor her. That's bad. I mean, you had that for a bit though. Is this someone who's dating you?
Lied.
Is this someone who's dating you? This is your ex, isn't it? Was it your dad's
Yeah. No, for the listeners who don't know and haven't been historic listeners of this podcast, when I was 17, I did date an older woman, and I did lie about going to work when I was actually going to school every morning because I was 17. And she would ask me
This
things.
is
She'd
her.
be like,
This is her.
she'd be like, "Oh, how was your day?" And I'd just have to make shit up and be like, "Oh, markets
You
crazy,
know, bloody business
fucking
comes
inflation,
and goes, you know,
inflation."
It's like that peep show
Oh.
news. Just keep saying, chance would be a fine thing.
Yeah, literally. Oh god, it was awful.
Oh man, what would you say? I'm trying to think what I would say if it was like the mum's 50th and I come down in like a bloody like just shirt,
Party dress.
yeah, and clearly like hungover and.
I mean, I didn't actually want to go into too much gross detail, but I guess she wrote it. But I left a line out that said her hair was a mess and full of different fluids.
My goodness me.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like they had a good time, at least. Sounds like they had a good time. But
yeah,
that is
show that 19-year-old boy.
That 19-year-old, he couldn't give less of a shit about the disaster he just caused. He was having.
She came downstairs and there was the cake and everything. Then he sort of strutted down the stairs,
down. Took a slice of the cake with his hand and said, "Yeah, I'll have this." All right,
yes, mum.
Yes, Dad.
High five.
High fives him. Be like, "Happy birthday, Dad! You raised the good one here."
Yeah, legend.
That's horrendous. Fair play. Do you want to hear another one?
Yeah.
This was when I was back at uni, so a number of years ago now. I matched with a guy on Bumble and we chatted a bit, then organised to meet up for a date. So we went back to the local Spoons for a couple of drinks and I quickly realised that he was a little bit odd. He asked me what my best drunk story was, so I told him something and then obviously asked him in return because he was definitely fishing for that question. So he said, the other weekend, he was out getting drunk in the park with some pals, which is very 15-year-old vibes, or in these times, quite Corona, really. So this was a few years ago, though.
Okay.
But one of them was a pagan. So he said they all got naked and started doing pagan rituals around a tree.
Okay.
I kind of thought he was joking, so I laughed along. But he was being deadly serious, and he then said to me that he knew a forest nearby and still remembered all of the pagan rituals. If I was interested in getting naked with him and dancing around a tree to pagan rituals.
Oh god, I just start that there because I just love it how he was fished for the question because he really, he was just like, oh, my friends did this, but really he's just trying to angle like, would you be okay with the pagan?
We could do that, I guess.
Whatever, like if you fancied it, like I mean, it's not,
Yeah, like,
it is.
I mean, you brought it up technically, sort of, didn't you, by asking me the question? So just going off your cue, basically.
I know some pagan spells. What of it,
So again, I laughed because I thought this must be a joke, but he was being deadly serious. So at that point, I definitely knew he was odd and called it a night. I really wanted to escape him, and he really wanted to walk me home, but I said I really didn't want that, and he lunged at me to kiss 3 times. And I had to do the whole bending back to avoid him, just like in the Matrix movie. He tried to kiss her 3 times, and she said no.
Wow, that's like something you would do, Ali. Wow, that is like
that's
unbelievable. Yeah. I'm not a quitter. That is
shocker.
Weird.
Yeah,
really weird. Yeah, I do the angling of just trying to slip in what you really really like into a conversation. That is funny. That is genuinely funny. Being like, well, whatever. My friends are those weirdos. Oh.
Have you got another one?
Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is a good one. Okay. So it was a radio station competition, and I got to go on.
Brilliant. I love that as a start to a story. Anyway.
Yeah. The first one was with this dude who says, and this is 2017. Bear in mind that he loves Trump and thinks he's hilarious.
Yes.
Win already.
So already we know that his banter's a bit classic.
Yeah. Well, it's a fucking funny chat.
Well, exactly. Was he guilty of being hilarious himself? Like,
yeah. Basically, it's a surprise that we are going skydiving, and he says he chose this because the radio station is paying for it, and it's something he wanted to do. A positive of the date is that we didn't get to talk much because I was strapped to a lovely man and we were in a plane with plastic windows. And I was also crapping my pants scared, as you would be if you'd not been skydiving. The skydive was actually fucking cool, but my backpack boyfriend, the man she was strapped to, made us go into a spiral on the way down, and I literally spewed my guts out as soon as we landed in front of my date
Yeah.
and all the radio station people, and they all looked at me. So it was kind of the best and worst date I've ever been on.
Ah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, she skydove, and it sounds like she got to do something fun. But the throwing up was a bit of a
The
shame.
spewing everywhere.
But then fuck
being on
that
a
guy.
date.
Like, he sounds like a bit of a wanker anyway. So good thing. That's quite a good thing to do, to throw up in front of him. Be like, that's what you get.
Have you ever won like a radio competition or any kind of competition?
I never won a competition. Someone I was going out with, though, used to work in competitions, so she sort of knew how they worked. So she entered one for a vodka company. She wasn't running it, she had no, but she could tell that it wasn't going to be many people entering it, because you had to buy the vodka bottle, then you had to like register, then post about it with like 40 words or whatever. And she named the brand in her post. Apparently, if there's any competition where they want you to post about it, definitely put the brand name in your post, because the person choosing the winner will look for Control F, like who's put the brand name in out of the ones. And she won. And she won $10,000. It's Australian dollars, $10,000, and a waxwork of her.
With life size?
Life size waxwork of her. And she said, "Can I just have the money?"
Yeah. I don't want that creepy.
And they said, "No, contractually, we have to do the waxwork of you as well." So she now has this waxwork of her in her mum's garage, life size, which her brother, when he's got his mates around, just sends photos of like his mates getting off with her statue.
Twerking on it and stuff. Yeah. You know what I would do with that? I would turn it into a massive candle.
That would be good. But then you just watch it fucking melt.
Yeah, great.
That would be good. Do it. Put that on live. Be all right.
That'd be like art.
I've never won. Have you won any competitions? I've won comedy competitions, I guess, if you want to bring that up. I guess I have.
No, that's not what I meant at all.
So I suppose in that way, I have won competitions.
Yeah, no, in that
Have
way,
you
I have
done
beaten
that?
6 to 7 other people in a pub. In a pub. Yeah, I actually have won. I was actually Bath's comedian.
Say no more.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Have you won a radio competition or anything like that?
No, I wish I had.
Okay.
Never actually really entered.
Yeah, it's long to enter. But that's apparently, she knows a bit of gaming the system, so ask her. Right. Went on a first date a couple of months ago, and it was a shambles from start to finish. The zip of my jeans broke off when I went to the toilet. I wish the ground would have swallowed me up. My awkward self decided to walk around holding my bag in front of me instead of just going to replace the jeans. We were taking a walk, and he starts to hold my hand, the hand not covering the mess that was the front of my jeans. I'm a bit confused because in my head, we didn't have that much in common, and there were so many long silences. I went to pull my hand away and told him I just didn't really like holding hands. Instead of letting go, he kept holding onto my hand and said, "But they fit together really well, nah?" It was the most uncomfortable few seconds of silence before I managed to pull my hand away, only for him to try and kiss me not long after. I turned and gave him the cheek and said some shit about not kissing on the first date. "Ha, you're welcome." He thought it was amazing too. He then tried to kiss. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. He thought it was amazing. He thought it was amazing too. He then tried to kiss me again. Honestly, my confusion at this point. I'd had enough by now, and he was walking me to the station when he got us to stop to listen to a man talking to a little crowd about how all the COVID conspiracies are true. I'm just waiting to go at this point, and then he decides to go and shake this man's hand and comes back telling me how right he is. I didn't even know what to say. I'm just standing there. That was definitely the
my
last
hand
date.
again after the last person in the world you want to touch is the COVID conspiracy man's hand.
Yeah. It was brilliant. Have you got any more? I got some short ones, and I've also got one, and he wants us to mention him. Another comedian, Lukey Nixon, has sent me one for this one, so I can read this out. Do you want you?
Yeah. There you go.
I match an so this is Lukey Nixon. If you want to follow him, it's Lukey Nixon, LUKIENIXON on Instagram. I match an unbelievably good-looking girl on Hinge. We agreed to meet. Blessings be, I thought. That was also her name. Her name is Blessings.
Wow. Okay.
A couple hours before our date, I met my friend Moses. This is a very biblical story. Sorry, I think they went to the
Moses
Old
and my other friend
Testament.
Abel.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And potted the Red Sea, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we went on a pilgrimage to a small shack in Bethlehem. Yeah.
So a couple hours before our date, I met my friend Moses in a tacky salsa bar. After a few sambucas, we split ways, and I wait for a cab. To have sambucas before the date is bold. Bold. Suddenly, a guy comes up to me and grabs my crotch while his mate goes through my backpack behind me. Needless to say, I crumpled to the floor, and a crowd quickly gathered. While spinning around on the floor like an 8-year-old at a school disco, I saw my Uber arrive 10 yards down the road. On my hands and knees, I shamefully crawled from the crowd and bundled into the car. For revenge, I wound down the window and flicked the V's and sped off to the Four Thieves in Clapham. Shout out Four Thieves in Clapham, many young person's date place. After telling the driver what just happened, I was quite stressed. So to calm my nerves, the driver and I smoked what I thought was a quick joint near the venue.
Okay.
So he's had a few sambucas, got mugged, and now he's having a joint with the Uber driver.
This is quite a day. Okay.
I rocked up 55 minutes late.
Right. Presumably fucked, right?
She told me, and this is a quote, as a 10, she couldn't believe I'd kept her waiting. But it showed confidence, so she backed it.
Blessings. I like this girl. I'm in. Okay.
Upstairs in the Four Thieves games room, we play a Scalextrics game where I end up lapping her 4 times. She turned to me coldly and asked if I was trying to humiliate her.
Yes, I am, because I need to win.
He's a few sambucas and a joint in, and he's still smashing out the Scalextrics. Fair play to him. Walking her to the tube, she stopped and told me she decided she wasn't into white guys anymore. So not only have you put her off you put her off an entire race. Off a race of people. Knowing I had nothing to lose, I smiled and said it had been a blessing to meet her. She unmatched me before I made it home.
What an adventure that was. That's insane.
Oh man, that's Lukey Nixon. If you want to shout out, thanks for sending that in. Another comedian. If any other comedians want to shout out, send in your stories, man. That's funny.
Yeah. So on a last one, very very quickly, another comedian, Preet Singh, right? Yeah. He mentioned another about shout out Preet Singh, very funny comedian. Check him out, right? He on the topic of race, right? He did one. He goes, "Oh, the racist one was pretty straightforward. Matched the girl on Tinder, turned up, and she was real awkward. And then when I asked flat out, and when I asked, she flat out told me she didn't realize I was brown and wasn't into brown dudes. Amazing. I paid for my drink and I left."
Jesus Christ! How do you mean? How did they match and meet? Also, his name is Preet.
Sitting, yeah, and like, there's just so many things there. That
questions. What was she looking at? How bonkers?
Unless it was one of those dating apps which I have heard about, which is no pictures. I don't know. If
It's
just pure personality. I imagine
hate that idea, wouldn't you? You'd be like, "What's the point? Why'd you go on it then? How'd you know who to match?" Also, shout out that is fucking shit of that girl. Someone could not be your type. You don't have to love or be sexually attracted to every sort of type of color of skin or whatever. But to just flat out say that and then say like, "Why am I here?" And like, you just say, "Oh, lovely time, not for me. Bye bye."
Even if you weren't fancying them, you just hang around and
the bizarreness of not realizing they were brown or when you've matched them on Tinder is bizarre.
But I think that's bullshit. I think that's utter bollocks. I think she panicked, said what she was really thinking and didn't fancy him. Like, there's no way she didn't know. You know, she can see his photos. Like, it's just bizarre.
Loser. I have some really quick ones. These are just one sentence ones. I'll just rattle through them. Okay. Being told they wanted to date you as you look like their dead ex.
That's so fucked on so many levels.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Was that a man or a woman who said that?
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember.
Oh no, you got. Oh man, that is just So good. It'd almost be better if it was like, if it was a guy saying that to a woman. That would just be
That's proper like weird, like Liam
Yeah.
Neeson shit. You're looking
Yeah.
like my dead wife. Like,
Do you mind if I give you some of her clothes? Would you? Would you?
yeah, exactly. Bringing their perfume, like putting
Yeah.
it on you,
Spray it.
spraying it on the tape.
Fucking hell.
A guy who had a foot fetish and he spent the evening checking out my shoes.
Oh yeah.
She thought dragons were real animals. I told her they weren't. She cried.
Good. Good. Sorry, you're a moron. You're a moron.
He turned up to the park drunk and then pissed right next to me. Didn't even find a tree. This I really like this one. This is like a really long-term relationship one. Valentine's Day dinner. My ex set a 1 hour timer. 1 hour. You got 1 hour. Go. Fit it in the romance.
Oh god, that's just so good though. That's just because we all know that guy. No offense, mate. You've been that guy. You've been that guy who's married to the game of comedy, and you're like, look, love, I've got 1 hour for you.
Even
I'm gonna fit you in.
Even I don't set a timer. Okay, 1 hour timer for dinner, 15 minutes for sex, and then I've got to go. I've got to go back to the.
Okay, I've got a really quick one. Okay, went on a romantic stroll to the Olympic Park, right?
Okay.
With a 6'4", 28-year-old man. Okay, he left me standing, holding his jacket as he ran towards the swings when we went past the playground.
There's a sense of adventure in there, but the idea that he wouldn't say,
"You want to come? Spoiler, hold my jacket.
Yeah, hold my jacket. Can I go on the swings?"
Yeah. Oh, 6 swings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like when I see a swing, I just gotta go. Like I've just gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
I can see in his head thinking, this is gonna make me look really cute, and then actually just looking like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He was an oral surgeon and kept telling me I'd be hot if I got braces. He drew a diagram of my teeth.
Oh man.
Okay, this is the last one.
So painfully good.
Before COVID, the guy showed up and turns out his Bumble pics were from 30 years ago.
30? How old was he?
This is interesting for a couple of reasons, right? So firstly, I imagine he's probably in his 50s then, I guess, and he's put some 20s pictures.
Yeah.
Secondly, how are you not looking at his photos on Bumble and seeing like they're like from the 90s?
Polaroid, yeah, Polaroids, yeah. Just from the fashion, you know?
But like, you know, like in a Will Smith jumper.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, it's so edgy. You must have got it from like a vintage shop.
Yeah, with a Sony Walkman tape deck.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what I find most baffling, and I've heard a few stories of men doing this, right? And it's that classic male mentality, which is just like, you just need to get me in the room. Just get me in the room.
Yeah.
Just, open the door, and once I'm in, I'll be fine.
The thing is, these girls, they think they know what they want, but they don't really know what they want. You know, you turn up, bit of chat, buy them a drink, touch their arm. Suddenly it's like,
Just open the door, and that's all I need.
That's
all I need. Once I'm in, I'm in.
Opportunity.
I've got the best chat in the world, mate.
Yeah. But that was a fantastic selection for FailMail, for our debut of FailMail. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll be doing this every week. Next week's question we'll be putting out on Wednesday. It'll be something as similar broad stroke questioning that we can get some of your best stories for. But we put them out every Wednesday. If we have used your story on this and you've said to me that you don't mind us atting you when we post it out, we will. But yeah, we look forward to hearing more, guys, because this has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, really good. And yeah, for the question, it'll be Wednesday on our Instagrams, at Ali Woods Gigs, at Tom Elwes, and at Adif Pod. We'll share it on there as well on the story, and then you can reply to it in the story. If you don't use Instagram, then where you at, mate? Where you at?
And maybe this
podcast. So Tom, we're running over, but do you want to say quickly a bad date story you have?
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, the thing is, like, there was one where, like, I mean, yeah, she went back with me, but like, it was just like that was it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've told I've told it before on the podcast, but for the new listeners who may not know, I once took ecstasy by mistake. I thought the event was different to the event that I was going to. I was misinformed, and I took ecstasy, and then I walked into the venue, and within about 4 seconds, I realised what the event was, and it wasn't a rave of what I thought I was going to. It was actually a 3-course dinner urban dining experience, and before I could do anything, I'm sat at a candlelit table opposite a girl with ecstasy in me, and it's too late, guys. I can't go to the toilet and throw it up. It's too late. Too much time has passed. So I just had to try and style out being on ecstasy on a date, and it was the worst experience of my entire life.
Just vibing.
But the worst and best experience of my entire life because I was on ecstasy.
Worst date I've ever had and absolutely loved.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, similarly, like I've told my worst date story already with the Australian girl. I'm trying to remember what episode that was in, but we ended it with it one time. But that was pretty bad. But I'm trying to think of another one. The thing is, I'm quite fortunate in that I
don't go on a lot of dates, so that's perfect for you.
I don't go on a lot of dates. So I will try and find out that Australian one because I told it in some quite great length. So I don't want to butcher it here. It's like 10 minutes long. That is a good one. There was one I was reminded of yesterday when I was thinking about this, which was when I went on a sort of day date with a girl. And we went around, I've forgotten what park it was, but it was a park that had like a maze in it. And so we started.
We both got lost.
Well, but we started doing this maze. And then she was like, "Oh, let's just leave." And I was like, "No, we need to complete the maze, man. Like, we're in the maze now." And she was like, I just want to leave the maze." And I was like, "Yeah, but we need to complete it first." And then she was like, "I'm leaving the maze." And I was like, "Yeah." When I was like, "Well, fine. I'll see you outside of the maze." And then I went and did the maze on my own. She was outside waiting. She was outside waiting for me. Was not happy. Yeah. It was like a beautiful sunny day, and I was just like, "Well, I'm doing the maze, so you can not do the maze, and I'll see you later."
Yeah.
And she was not so happy. It did not work out, that one, but we are still friends.
Fair. That's good. Don't do mazes together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this new and improved episode of the pod. We'll be coming at you every single Friday on the audio and Saturday on the video on YouTube. I am Tom Elwes. You can follow me at all good social media platforms. Ali
Woods Gigs, thank you very much for listening and continue the support. And if you want to support even more and get a second episode every week that will come out on Tuesday afternoon, then you can donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/AIDIFPod, AIDIFPOD. And just for $5 a month, you can get 2 episodes every week. Thank you to those who donate already and receiving those episodes. And if you're not, then get on it, man. You get an extra episode. But otherwise, thank you very much for your support and for enjoying listening to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.